Alright, so XXL released their freshman cover again. And to be honest, it's actually not that bad. So if you've seen who the list is I don't think that's a word. So if you see who the list contains, it has EBK J-Bo, Baby Chief Do It, Nino Paid, Laser Them, Jello, 1900 Rugrat, YTB Fat, M Triplin. You ever heard of that person? Samara Sin.
Somebody said L Reader.
Y and Ruke.
And Ray Vaughn. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I feel like XXL gets a lot of hate, and I think it's a good reason behind it because I feel like they don't really focus on the talent of upcoming rappers. I feel like they just focus on who's the hottest and who has the biggest name. I know people talk about this class all the time, but I feel like the last class where they really focused on talent was the infamous 2016 class. Just to touch on it, just a few heavy hitters they had was Uzi, Yachty, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Denzel Curry, G Herbo, Dave East. Like that class was like mad stacked. And I don't think it's a very unpopular opinion to say that that was the best class they ever had. I feel like they hit like nail on the head. But I feel like that's where the problem comes in most of the time. I feel like people always try to compare every single class to that class. But to be honest, I feel like it's pretty unrealistic to think that every single cover will hit the exact same way. Because honestly, up until looking at some of the covers, I really thought that every cover after that really just had a whole bunch of people that we never heard about. But honestly, that was not the case. A lot of them covers was actually not bad considering who was like still relevant to this day. Now, don't get me wrong. There's definitely always a few people on there you like, who is this person? Why are they on here? They have done nothing to deserve this. Or they're just like a meme or a TikTok rapper. I think the biggest example of this from this year is Jello. Now, I'm not hating on Jello, but XXL freshman, Jello. I might swerve in the corner. XXL freshman. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think it's no way that XXL really thinks that Jello has a longevity in music. But to be fair, he's not the first person they have put on there purely because of clout. Another big example of this, I would say, is Ugly Guy, who was on the cover in 2017. So if you don't remember Ugly Guy, he first became popular for his song, and if you haven't heard it, I'm not making it up, I Beat My Meat in Water, which Water actually wasn't really that bad. That was a pretty good song. But yeah, it's not the first time they've had meme rappers on it. Honestly, even Ugly Guy is a little different than Jello, because honestly, I feel like Ugly Guy actually had talent. He actually still could rap. He just chose to rap about pretty off the wall stuff, obviously. But that didn't take away from the fact that he had talent. Now, Jello, I just feel like Jello just randomly got in a recording one day and played the songs that it sounded like his dad used to play when he was in the backseat. I know we all remember the infamous memes where it's like Jello raps like it's like 2002. And even with that, honestly, I really still can't hate on Jello because Jello, while being a two-hit wonder, did still make us all bop to them songs. The main reason I wanted to make this video is because every time the XXL freshman comes out, people literally just hate on it, say it's like the worst cover they ever seen. But if you actually go back and look at some of the covers, which I'm going to put on the screen right now, most of these faces are actually pretty recognizable to this day. And that's going back to like 2011. Most of the people they put on the cover are actually not that bad. And I feel like the bad rep comes from them literally trying to compare all the rest of the covers to like the perfect cover. Yes, we all know the 2016 cover was honestly almost perfection, to be honest. They literally encapsulated that era and who was coming up at that time perfectly. But like I said earlier, I feel like it's just unrealistic to expect every cover to hit the exact same way. It's just not. All they could do is try to get as close as they can to it. And honestly, to say that they're picking 10 upcoming rappers, I feel like if 3 or 4 of them actually stay relevant, they probably did a relatively good job. Now they just fill the cover up with a whole bunch of nobodies who literally just fall off next year, then we really have a problem. But I think they really get a bad rep for no reason. The cover is not that bad. Another person on the list that people hate on a lot is Ian. I definitely do feel like it's a little culture vulturing with Ian because he says a lot of stuff that he doesn't live, and it seems like he takes a lot of inspiration from other rappers. But to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like y'all just say that because he's white. Because there's a lot of upcoming black rappers who say a whole bunch of stuff in their songs just because it sounds cool and just because they know you'll listen. I guess it's fresh on my mind because I just did a video on it. Lit Tecca literally captions his songs all the time. And he's a really big rapper and nobody says he's culture vulturing for doing it.
Talking on a friend, I have a girlfriend. I don't have no young ladies. Bands, when I'm flying to friends, drinking, chilling.
Land? Nah, I never went to France. And crashed a Ferrari, so I hopped in the Benz. I don't even know how to drive. Got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I don't have no straps for nobody. She know I got the funny Prado when I hit Milan. No, I've never been to Europe. I got lots of shorties tryna pull up to my place. I don't do like multiple girls.
Now, Drake is a black rapper who also gets that title put on him, but we all know why. It's Drake.
This is my alter ego. Anita Max win.
I think the biggest thing to remember when looking at these covers is to remember that music is subjective, and all of these people legitimately do have audiences. Even if you're not the biggest fan of them, there are a lot of people who do like them. Now, of course, from this cover, pretty much the only people I like Baby Chief Do It, I like Ian, I like Nino Paid, but I don't really like anything else. But when I look them up, these people actually have audiences. People do like them. So I don't think it's so off the wall to say that they might have some potential in the game later. Now, again, in your opinion, they might suck. And you might be right in the fact that they might fall off. But I don't think that makes them undeserving to be on the cover. I feel like if they've built that amount of audience, they do actually deserve to be there. In the same breath, though, I will say I don't know if I really feel like Joe deserves to be there. He's not gonna lie. Also, a lot of y'all be like hating on the actual rapper for being on the XXL like it's their fault. Like, bro, if you're an upcoming rapper, obviously, if you're a rapper, you're not gonna think your own music is trash. And if you're approached with that opportunity, I think it's a really good idea to take it. So who in their right mind wouldn't take the cover? Now, obviously, there are some people who have turned it down, even like Latega, who I previously talked about. But for the people who do, I don't think that makes them deserving of the hate. So if you're gonna hate anybody for the freshman cover, make it XXL and not the artist. Anyway, key takeaway from this, cover is not that bad. Please stop expecting perfection from stuff all the time. All they can do is try their best, and hopefully they get as close as they can. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.